This is LSAT Prep Test 134, Section 4, Passage 1 about crime deterrence. Two sides of a legal debate that look like opposites but turn out to be the same thing. It's a low difficulty passage. This is structurally one of the cleanest you're ever going to see. But that simplicity is actually where students mess up because they end up overthinking it. Now, this passage does one thing. It takes two camps that seem to be fighting and proves they are compatible. That's it. If you leave the passage thinking the author picked a side, you've already lost points. Now, paragraph 1 here is pure setup. Two groups of scholars disagreeing. One group says crime is a social problem. You've got to fix institutions, change people's beliefs, and open up economic access. The other group says crime is an individual choice, so you've got to jack up penalties and make enforcement tougher. You want to move through this at a normal pace. Don't memorize all the policy recommendations. Just tag which side blames society and which side blames the person. That's all you've got to get out of this paragraph. But you also don't want to blow past the last sentence because that's where the author steps in. You get the word however, and then the claim that these two positions are surprisingly complementary. And that word surprisingly is telling you the author knows this sounds counterintuitive. They're flagging that the rest of the passage is going to explain something you wouldn't expect. So now you know exactly where this is headed. The passage is not going to pick a winner, it's going to clean up the fight. Now, paragraph 2 is the most important paragraph in this set. You want to slow down here. This is where the author introduces the concept of utility maximization, and if you skim it, the rest of the passage is going to fall apart. But the idea is actually pretty simple once you strip away the jargon. People make choices based on what gives them the best expected outcome. You look at what could happen, how likely each outcome is, and how much each one is worth to you. Then you pick the option with the highest total. That is it. And so under this principle, crime is just a cost-benefit decision. The author isn't saying crime is okay. They're saying you can model it like any other economic choice. You want to lock in on that before you move on. Now, paragraph 3 is where the payoff hits. This is the author applying the framework to both sides. A person commits a crime when the expected benefit beats the expected cost of getting caught. And so, how do you deter crime? There's two ways. You can raise the cost with tougher penalties and better enforcement. That's what the individual choice camp wants. Or you can raise the benefit of staying legal with better economic opportunities and more access to institutions. That's what the social factors camp wants. Both sides are just adjusting different variables in the same equation. You want to read this at a pretty steady pace. The logic will flow naturally if paragraph 2 clicked for you. Now, the final chunk is short and does exactly what you would expect. The author says the two positions are not fundamentally in conflict, and the best deterrence strategy would be to use elements of both. No surprises there. Now, the key move is the reconciliation. Both sides of the debate map onto the same utility equation. They are pulling different levers, not fighting over which lever exists. Now, the hardest questions are going to test whether you understand that the author is not choosing a side. Now, the author's stance here is genuinely neutral. They think both approaches are valid because both change the math in the same direction. The big trap here is any answer choice that says the author prefers one camp, but they don't. A second trap is treating this as a passage about utility maximization itself. It is not. Utility maximization is the bridge. The passage is about resolving a debate. Now, there's one more thing you want to watch for here. Some wrong answers will describe what each side recommends in accurate detail, but frame it as being the passage's main point. But the main point is not what either side recommends. The main point is that they're not actually in conflict. So you don't want to confuse accurate content with the right answer. Now, before you hit the questions, you want to check yourself on three things. First, why does the author bring in utility maximization? What problem does it solve? Second, how does each side of the debate show up inside the utility equation? And third, what does the author say optimal deterrence strategy looks like?